but they bring out, like, in my opinion, one of the most underrated actors of our age.
Really? You think he's underrated? I mean, he's been in everything and he's had like really good roles. I don't know if I don't know if he's ever won like an Oscar or anything, but I that's the only thing that I could see is like being a underrated thing
That's
about Jake
He's got
Gyllenhaal.
one nom. Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, this guy's been in some cult classics and put out some exceptional performances, and he's only been nominated once.
I think for Jake Gyllenhaal, there was him being up for Spider-Man. In hindsight, I think like, oh, that would have been really cool. But at the time, I was like, how could you get him like Donnie Darko as Spider-Man? It didn't click for me at that point, but I kind of wish to go back in time. Like I would have been okay having Gyllenhaal be Spider-Man, and I think it was Spider-Man 2 is the one he was up for, recasting Toby, because I wasn't a huge fan of Toby Maguire, but hey man, Toby was pretty awesome to see in No Way Home, so I'm good with how things turned out. But
Oh yeah, no, love me some
Gyllenhaal
Toby.
Gyllenhaal's great. I mean, he's I just watched The Covenant, the Guy Ritchie movie with him in it. That was fantastic. I think he just also partners up with really good directors. Now, Doug Liman, who directed this, he made one of my favorite movies from the early 2000s, and that was Mr. and Mrs. Smith. So that was really cool to see. So I was thinking, like, oh man, he knows how to shoot action. This is going to be fun. And you got Gyllenhaal. I didn't realize McGregor was going to be in it as much as he was. But I was thinking like, okay, cool. They're going to do something like good with this particular movie as opposed to like the silliness of the 80s version of it. So, which I think it was in the 80s, right? Roadhouse was in the 80s. I don't, maybe
It
early
absolutely
90s.
was in the 80s. You know what else was in the
Okay.
80s? Jake Gyllenhaal's first movie. Any idea what it was?
No.
City Slickers.
Who was he in City Slickers? Like,
He was Mitch's son.
eh,
Yeah.
never knew it.
Yeah.
Underrated Jake Gyllenhaal movie, in my opinion, Bubble Boy. Bubble Boy
Very
was
Bubble Boy's
hilarious.
Bubble Boy's underrated. It is really funny.
So
Um,
damn funny.